But we are live. Let me go post our link for today's activity on the website, jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where you go to get the sheet music and all the good stuff that we work on here every day. And I gotta go back. I gotta do this right, or it doesn't go very well. Let's see. And then I've been tweeting our tweeting our lessons, which is kind of funny. Adam saying instrument. I don't have anything. Oh, I add on the word finger style. That's what I do. Finger style. And I hit tweet. You have to punch it twice. And then I magically appear as a live broadcast on Twitter. Isn't that funny? All right. Let's get this posted correctly. Everybody will roll in here momentarily, and they will say, "You sound good." And then today we're working on Addams Family theme. We're doing Halloween-ish music all week, and it's not very scary, so don't worry. But we've done several different TV themes. Addams Family today. We did Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie earlier this week. And we've done Hedwig's theme, which is from Harry Potter, over the last couple weeks. And tomorrow, our final piece of Halloween music will be Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. In a moment, you may hear a crash because my cat is losing his mind right now. He hasn't had his nap today, and so he's wild. All right. So Lanny's in, says I sound good. Carol's in from the high country of Colorado. Lynn is in. I gobbled down my soup. I did. Lynn was in the last class where we had the distressing notion that possibly chords are not always all that, right? And so we ended up with a fascinating discussion about when you use how chords are helpful and how sometimes they're not helpful. And in the song we're playing today, the chords are not helpful. They're so not helpful, I didn't even put them on. That's how not helpful the chords were on this piece of music today. Let's see. Sandy's just listening today. This is one of those songs where he is really, the lesson's going to last about 5 minutes, and then we're going to spend the rest of the time trying to actually make the thing come out correctly. Linda's in. She says, aloha. I sound good in California. Vic is in from Eugene, Oregon. Cindy's in from over west here. Jack is in from Illinois. Barbara and Jack. I always say Jack because that's his name, right? I'm like, oh, that's Jack and Barbara. And then I'm like, oh, I got to remember. Barbara, glad you're here. Let's see. Glenview, Illinois. I'm gonna have to Google that and see exactly where that is. Cozy's in. Cozy took some time off and is back. I'm glad you're here, bud. All right. I have to tell you that I think today's piece of music is it's deceptively difficult, and so we'll see if you guys agree with me as you were looking at it. We're playing Addams Family theme. Da-da-da-dum, 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 da-da-da-dum. And I think you do it again, and then you go ba-bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. That's it. That's the whole thing. So it won't take as long to go through the lesson, but boy, getting it to come out of your ukulele is going to be challenging, to say the least. Let me load it into my thingamabopper here. Songs, there it is, Addams Family. Make sure I put it in the right. You ever download stuff in the wrong folder and then you can't find it, and then you're like, what the heck? And then you re-download it, and then of course the next thing it turns up that you figure out where you downloaded it in the first place. You ever done that? I've done that. Addams Family PDF. Download. Okay. Blip. Okay. Exit, storage, download. I feel like back in the day, remember it was like a Palm Pilot, but it had a little pencil and you had to hit it 87 times for everything you wanted to do. All these nested menus. Addams Family theme. All right. I've never, ever since March when we started doing these things, giving you a piece of music that looks like this. And to be honest, I've never given out a piece of music with this many 16th notes all over the place. This thing is rough. All right, we'll see how it goes though. Let's see who else wandered in here. Pauline made it in. Gary and Diane are in from Washington. Critter's in from Utah. Red Cliffs. Everything if you have never been to Utah, it's an amazing place. It has a bit of a reputation. It's a little like Lynn's, New Jersey. Utah has a bit of a reputation about the type of people who live there. But man, oh man, Utah is beautiful. Let's see, Linda's here. The other Linda and Linda both came in at the same time. Caught up with I Dream of Jeannie. Yeah, it's an era. The problem with I Dream of Jeannie is then you're stuck singing it the rest of the day. That's rough. Although this one is not necessarily not an earworm, but everything we have this week is going to be. You'll be sitting around the dinner table and you'll be like, and you'll wonder what the heck is happening to what is Gary doing to your life and getting in your head and ruining it. Addams family thing. Valerie is in. Evelyn is in. Hey, Evelyn. Marianne in from Michigan as well. I think Sandy came in earlier and said she's just listening today. Yeah, she's just listening today. All right. So Marianne, you're holding up the Michigan contingent. Play twice as good. Barbara's made it in. Cindy, just don't wear a brown shirt. Just don't. I'm trying to think if I get the joke, Cindy. Don't wear a brown shirt. Explain your joke. If you have to explain the joke, it's not funny, right? But I don't know what you mean. Just don't wear a brown shirt. Laurel's in. Windy City. Is it windy outside? Seems nice here. Let's see. Or are you out of town? Is that where you're at, Laurel? Christine is back. She's from Bozeman. That's exciting. Patty's in. Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. Sunny, beautiful day up in Weld County. That's beautiful. Amy's here. Clay is in. Red is here. All right, let's get going. Remember Brown. The other Amy's here. We have two Amy's. They're competing. One of these days they'll have a grudge match. All right. Today is Addams family theme. Okay, and let's take a brief review and make sure that you know where you're at and what we're doing this week. So the first thing is this week you are playing Bewitched. Da-dum, da-dum, dun dun da-dum, dum dum. Then you are playing I Dream of Jeannie. Dum dum da-dum da-dum dum 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 da-dum da-dum dum. That's the bad one. That's the one that gets in your head and you can't get it out. Today we are Addams family. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Goes on. Okay, we have a new thing we have to figure out. We try different. We call it percussion. Tomorrow, I'm with all. I haven't even started it, guys. So I'm hoping it cooperates. We'll be doing Time Warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and on Friday, then we're playing all of those again. So you've got plenty of kind of gadgety songs this week to keep you busy. And then on Friday, we will be doing obviously Make a Better Bar Worksheet and the D minor arpeggio, which is sort of one of the better songs out of that book, and then the Harry Potter medley as well. So. Harry Potter, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Addams Family, and Time Warp. That's a pretty legit week of music, and so every bit of it's difficult, every bit of it, right? And so you guys want tough, I give you tough. Next thing is, did you draw this? Did you draw it without looking? Did you do it? Were you successful? So the question was, what's the name of this? So it comes with three names. Treble clef it's the main thing it usually gets called. Sometimes it's called the G clef because this big circle thing goes around the G line, the line where we put G notes on, and so sometimes it's called G clef. And there is if you see an 8 on the top or an 8 on the bottom of it, it's called an octave clef. In ukulele, we don't use the octave clef, so you don't need to worry about that name. Just ignore that. Now, your homework for this week or tonight, something. I want to know what this little line is called right here. Okay, because we're going to use that as a piece of vocabulary for your music theory. So I want to know what that little line right there is called. I also want you to put on the notes that go on this line, this line, this line, this line, this line, and in this space, this space, this space, and this space. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You should be happy you don't play bass. okay, because it's very much different. But because we play ukulele, we live our lives on the treble clef, and so I want you to put your notes on there. Remember, second grade music. They might have taught you that. If you don't remember, you don't remember, but we'll go through it one more time. And then that way we'll have an idea of where the notes are. We always use tablature because it's smarter and better for this instrument, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't know what's going on with the regular sheet music. So for those of you with prior music experience, so far this has not been too tough on your music theory, but we're gonna try to get it more complicated. Eventually, we'll put up augmented chords up here, and then you'll be like, I don't think I like this class anymore. What notes go where? Tell me where the notes go, and then we will work on that a little bit tomorrow. I'll put that up on the board. We'll have a little nugget of music theory each day. I think the takeaway today: know that that's a treble clef, and know that that's where the ukulele lives. That's their middle. Your middle C is a true middle C, and not true of necessarily all instruments that are played on the treble clef. But for you guys, you're in good shape. It's easy. Okay, next, Addams Family. Oh, I should mention, is everybody here? Most everybody's here. Next week I'm out, but I will be posting a ton of holiday music to get you started with. We're going to divide holiday music into two pieces, public domain and not public domain. Okay. What we'll be working on here will be the public domain stuff, which is all the old school good stuff. Okay. All the modern stuff that you think that you want to play, that will end up in behind the members section. So you might want to start thinking about, if you're not already a member of the website, most of you guys are, but if you're not, you might want to get that way. And you might want to talk some people into doing it too, right? Because this is awesome what we're doing. This would be a lovely Christmas present. Because in January, I'm not sure where we're going to be in January, but we're going to, we've got a couple hundred pieces of music up on the site, or darn close to it. And, we've got, it's a pretty nice place here to hang out and learn how to play, right? And play at a high level too. Okay, that's enough chatting from me. Let's play this song. Mussolini. Cindy, you're working in an area where I'm not in your head yet. Let's see. Jacqueline made it in. Amy Power. Yeah, I can't have too many Amy's. I know I've known a lot of nice Amy's. I don't think I've ever known a mean Amy. So good job. Way to go. Waiting for Amy might be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Send me an email. I'll look it up. I don't know how that song goes. Linda's for the win. Yeah, Linda. We always have way more Lindas. And Manette made it in. Okay, Manette is here from Chicago. Addams Family. You notice you have no chords. Okay, we had a discussion in the previous class about why do we even need these chords? We put the chord on and then we end up changing it all around. It doesn't even seem like we need it. Normally, I like to grab the chord to start everything out because most of your melody notes are going to be hanging around the chord. When you get to an ultra super crazy gadgety song like this, there are chords on it. There are, but they don't necessarily help when you're this weird of a melody. And so I just drop the chords. And next thing on this piece of, and so you see how different it looks compared to our usual stuff. We usually have so much more information on them. This song, what it looks like to me, I start seeing rests all over the place, and I'm like, oh boy, that's going to be rough. And then I'm also seeing a ton of 16th notes. That's the ones with the double flag on the top. That's another lesson we'll have up here. Is how long do notes last? We don't use a lot of 16th notes in ukulele, but in this case, they're not really going to be 16th notes. They're really meant as a staccato note that just goes by kind of quick, right? Ba-da-da-bum, ba-da-da-bum, right? So those are kind of normal speed. But when you get down here, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, 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 bum. So those 16th notes are really going to just feel like staccato notes. And the way to make it sound as close as I could to the original was just to use 16th notes rather than putting staccato markings on every single one. Those have to be put on one note at a time. And it's it's not a project that's worth doing. Let's put it that way. Your new music is like candy to me. I don't know if that's good or not. Now, since you don't have chords, you're just playing melody, and we want to play it well. Okay, so you guys that have been playing melody, you're all set up. Now, what the next thing we want to do is talk about staccato. We talked about this when we played La Cucaracha, right? Dun, 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 dun. So we usually like to make sounds beautiful on ukulele, right? But if we're playing to staccato, we want to make the note stop sooner. Right, so all I'm doing is just lifting up I'm not actually lifting it up. I'm just loosening my grip on it so that the sound stops. The other way to make the sound stop is to put your thumb back down on something. So if I'm playing a C note, okay, that's what we like. Sounds beautiful. But if I need it to be staccato, I just put my finger right back on it. Okay, so this entire piece is really meant to be played staccato. So we will be working on that today. Is da dun da da. Ba-da-da-bump, dun-dun-dun-dun, right? And we will need that note to stop. We don't need to play it like we usually play it. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. That's not what we're going to work on. We're working. Ukulele is going to help us out at this too, by the way. Dun-dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun-dun. So that's what we want to work on. Next thing, last piece of information before we actually play. In here, where you see the little snowflakes, the little asterisk, I don't know if they're asterisks. They look like little snowflakes all along there. They're under the rests. That's supposed to be, okay? So some of you know how to do this, some of you don't. Some of you are losers and you can't snap. Some people just can't do it. I don't know. It's never been something for me, but some people can't do it, right? So you're practicing da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Da-da-da-dum. Oh, there's no snap there. Da-da-da-dum, 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 da-da-da-dum. They're creepy and they're kooky. Okay, so there's that. Now, that's what we're going to be doing. Now, if you can't, the other way to do that, if you can't snap, you got a percussion instrument here anyway, right? So you're going to da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, 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 ba-da-da-dum. Okay, so use your ukulele as a drum that way. That's the other way to get your percussion. If you have the ability to have a cowbell on a little stand with a drumstick, ba-da-da-dum, clank, clank, ba-da-da-dum, clank, clank. That's what you want. And so the funnier you can make it. And I listened to the YouTube kind of a conglomeration of all the various versions of Addams Family, and they used all sorts of different things. They used a horn whistle or a train whistle in one of them, and they had a bzzz thing and all that stuff. So they used a little bit of everything. So be creative as you're going through that. Hey, Carol, welcome in from Puerto Rico. It's been a while. I'm glad you're here. And then Amy, what you gonna do? All right, now let's play a little bit. Okay, so you got 3-beat rest. 1, 2, 3. Ba-da-da-dum. Okay, so let's do 1, 3, 0. Okay, so that's what we don't want to do. And then let up on that as soon as you hit it. You got it? Practice it a few times. It's going to come up a lot, so it doesn't hurt to practice a little bit. 1, 3, 0, 1. Let up. 1, 3, 0. And don't do this. And don't do that. Okay? Let up. As soon as you hit the 1, then just ease up on your ring and index finger. Okay, that's going to come up a million times. The other one that's going to come up a million times is 3, 0, 2, 3. So I would probably do ring finger. Same thing. Okay. Now, here's the truth. This whole thing, they're triplets technically. Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun, but you're probably not going to worry about that. And if you were playing in an ensemble and we were all going to play this at a certain tempo, we'd have to work on making sure they're triplets and not eighth notes. But playing solo, we don't care about that. Okay, so it's just 1, 3, 0, 1, clunk, clunk, 3, 0, 2, 3, clunk, clunk. And then notice what's kind of fun. You've now learned 80% of this song just with those two little motions. Then when you get to measure the pickup to measure 3, it's dun 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 Okay, and just make sure each time you enter a new measure that you're not just hanging out on it, which is the opposite of what we always teach, right? Always like make the note, try not to move your finger, let it hang out, do that. On this song, it's the opposite. Okay, so let's play through measure into measure 8 because that's going to include. It's all the same thing, just so we have played it once through. So from the beginning through about measure 8. 1, 2, 3. Let me start again from the top. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. Keep going. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's going to come up again further down, measure halfway through the song, it comes up again. Okay, so then now let's talk about adding in your percussion. Okay, if you can snap, that's what everybody thinks of with this song, right? So if you can snap, do that. If you can't, just use this as your percussion. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's it. Okay. Probably if you played that through 20 times, your fingers would memorize what they're supposed to do, and then you could get rid of the sheet music, right? Right now, I think it was over snapping. My thumb's like, ow, what are you doing? All right. Oh, good. A picture of me playing the ukulele in my old house just showed up, and I'm really fat in that. So I'm actually doing better. All right. So I feel fat, but I'm not as fat as I used to be. How about that? All right. Now, let's pay attention to the words here. You could really tell they were desperate to just stick words that rhymed in here. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're altogether kooky, the Addams family. Their house is a museum where people come to see 'em. They really are a scream, the Addams family. That's the melody. That's going to be fun to play that part. And then you go ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum, ba da da bum, ba da da dum, ba da da bum. So get a witch's shawl on. Well, that makes no sense. A broomstick you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams family. Snap, snap, ba-da-da-bum. So that's what we're playing. All right. I think your singing is pretty good on this. Yeah, that right, finally. You know, you get a Halloween song and I can kill it singing it. All right. Let's play it. Okay. And again, work on staccato here. Don't let your ukulele just ring. Once you hit a note, let up on it. Okay. We'll go kind of slow here so we can get the fingering is pretty predictable once you do it a little bit of it, but you want to take your time. Oh, sorry, Leah. Welcome in. JollyRogerUkulele.com. JollyRogerUkulele.com. That's where we live. Okay. Everything you need is there. Everything you also don't need is also on there, right, guys? Okay. JollyRogerUkulele.com. All right. When you go there and you see all that stuff, you'd be like, I don't know what he's doing. I'm leaving. All right. From the top, from measure 8, to pick up in measure 8. 1, 2. Let's go real slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's what we're after. Okay, no, it's super repetitive, but it doesn't necessarily lay into any of our usual patterns, right? We usually are building around chord shapes. We're usually doing stuff that tries to make sense. This doesn't even try to make sense. All those threes and then that dumb 4 shows up. You're going to have to be thinking about, all right, if in order to get this to go smoothly, I really got to make my finger choices and then stick to them. And so I think what you'll find is after you've been through it a few times, you're like, all right, I'm just going to do it this way, and then it'll work. So let's do that little section there again. Pick up to measure 8 all the way down through 17. And again, nice and slow. Just get your fingering under your belt first. 1, 2, 3. Okay. How are we doing? Does it make sense? Kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Okay. Next thing. Okay. When you get into, when you come out of measure 16, ba-da-dum-bum, right? You're right back into the intro thing. So do the pickup to 17. And then on to page 2. Snap, snap. And then the last little section is identical to the first section. It's just 1 time through instead of 2. Okay, so from pickup to 21, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I forgot to talk about this. 24, notice you've been playing all these 8th notes up against 16th notes. So it's that da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, that galloping feel that we get from playing swing time, right? Long, short, long, short, long, short. I'm singing it wrong. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. And then you get to 24 and you see quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. You want to take that seriously. The Addams family. Snap, snap, da 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 dum. Okay. So when we get to, so do the pickup, well, go from 21. Okay. That's where the music starts again. So from 21, pick up to 21. 1, 2, 3. Snap, snap. Okay, and that's the only one you don't want to play staccato is that last note. You really do want it to be a whole note. There, right? Just let that ring out. Okay, so yeah, so 24, pay attention. Those are quarter notes. You might even mark them because you'll play them too fast otherwise. What else should I tell you about this piece? What else do you need to know? That's it. That's everything there is on there. Not a ton of music here. Kind of fun to play. All right, let's try it from the top. Try to go slow. I'll try to go slow too. 1, 2, 3. If we had a bass string on here somewhere, I'd go bong at the end. It really needs that at the end. It really needs a dark note at the end, but we don't own it. um, if you have a low G, you could hit that low B flat, probably. Dun 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 bong. That'd be funny. What do you think? Does it make sense? Fun stuff this week, as always. Oh, hey, Joyce. I'm like, somebody wrote something. Oh, it's Joyce. Oh, Joyce knows her music, so I always feel like, oh boy, I gotta straighten up. So I'm not sure I have that much more to add to this song. What are your thoughts? Oh, you could kazoo. Yeah, Diane's like da 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 squawk squawk da 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 squawk squawk. Use your kazoo or a cowbell. Da da da. Have somebody just standing there. Da 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 dum plank plank da 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 dum blank blank. I think one time years ago, maybe Debbie did this. I can't remember. I think we might have done this in an orchestra, or at least we tried to do it. I don't know if we ever did it or not. But it is a fun little piece. And again, be thinking about doing the opposite of what we always do. We always try to get nice, long, lush, beautiful notes out of our ukulele because it sounds great. But in this case, we're trying to be much more gadgety, and all week long, really. I'd say Hedwig's theme is not gadgety. I think that one really do want that soft, beautiful, flowing feel to it. But Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, and Addams Family, no question that we're trying to just create that staccato feel and the silliness and using our instrument a little bit differently than we usually do to get something to come out of it. So let's see. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else. Kazoos, very fun, very cute. It is a fun song, right? All right, let's see. I like when there are three threes. I like when there are three threes in a row. I bar it, and then it's not so hard to move. Yeah, I'm finding that I'm like all over, and I'm just getting lucky that I'm hitting the threes. If I'm on a tenor, I'm probably not hitting those threes very clean. So yeah, just jump up and grab and use a bar there. Creepy, and they're kooky. They're kooky. Yeah, something like that. Marianne, I like it when there are okay, and then okay, so same comment. Yeah, so I think that's what I know about today. Okay, so you probably want to take a little time to practice that. Not a hard piece to play, but to play it well and to make it convincing and fun, probably need a little bit of warm up on it. Let's play it one more time, and then we'll call it a day. How about that? Okay, once in a while we get done early. Usually with you guys, we're digging into all this minutia of music, and it takes a little longer to cover. But this one's not so much. Nice and slow. By the way, if you are so inclined, you're like, yep, this is my favorite song I've ever played. Go spend a little bit of time figuring out, hey, what other notes could I bring in underneath it? Because in the show when I listened to YouTube, it was they would use different versions of it at different places, and there was several full-blown orchestral arrangements of it. And so you can go through and start, if you find a place you're like, hey, it'd be fun to add in an extra note here, go through, pick out and find a second note, and hit two notes at once. You might find that you're accidentally creating your own arrangement of Addams Family just by noodling around just a little bit. Vibra slaps, right? Or we need a what's that thing called? Theremin. Da 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 da. Wow wow. Da 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 da. Wow da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Wow wow. Yeah. What you guys? I know how you are. You probably have a bunch of weirdo instruments sitting around your house. My latest weirdo instrument, John, who comes to our harmonica class, talked me into trying one of these. You can see it's already in the back of the drawer. This is a tremolo harmonica. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I don't even know what in the world I will ever use this for, but the box, it was $12. Yeah, so I don't know. Find yourself a goofy little thing and do that. One time years ago over at Lakewood Cultural Center, they had some sort of science fiction-y thing going on, and they had a theremin petting zoo, and I was like, I am so going to go play that theremin, and then something came up and I couldn't do it, so I didn't get to go to the theremin petting zoo. All right, here we go. From the top, last time through, really slow. 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm going to go. That's as much as I know. Hope you guys are having a great day. You need to be carving your pumpkins over the next couple of days. Even if you don't get trick-or-treaters, it's still required by law to make a jack-o'-lantern, so do it. I haven't started mine. I got to get started on those. And then you're going to go do good, right? Whatever that means for you. Be safe. You're going to work on your which notes go on where. Okay. Joyce is here. Joyce knows which notes go on there. So you guys need to know it too. If Joyce knows it, you need to know it because Joyce knows all of the right things. Do good. Be safe, right? I don't know if you're watching the news, but it is shocking. So please don't go outside or talk to anybody. Practice a little bit. This is kind of the music you're going to have to practice. This isn't just going to fall into your lap. This isn't, I've been working on the railroad. This is hard stuff we're working on this week. And it's all different. It doesn't fit any of the rules and it's crazy. So work on that and then keep showing up. Okay. We're here every day, Monday through Friday. You should just set your clock by it, right? Because it's awesome. And then like and subscribe if you haven't done any of that yet. And let's see, we always have these lovely little Russian bots that I have to make go away all the time. And then if you haven't voted, get that done, right? There are no undecideds in this country. Don't let them kill you. Everybody knows what they're voting for. Just get your ballot in. That's what's important. And let's see, what other things you guys? Okay. Oh, you guys are way ahead of me. I'm back on theremins. All right. Lynn says it was fun. Thanks for a fun day. Glad you were here, Manette. Jacqueline, good to see you. Glad you're back in the neighborhood. Vic, yeah, to borrow the phrase makes sense, right? Cozy, good to see you. Fran, it is a fun song. Elizabeth, lots of fun today. Snap, right? Some people can't snap, right? What are they going to do? Snap on the ukulele. It's a good drum. Thanks, Amy. Amy Power to the people. You can plant your candy. Oh, yeah, right? You can plant your candy sticks in the lawn. Come on, people. I bought 2 little mini skeletons. That was my contribution to this year's decorations. See you, Joyce. Leah, glad you were here today. Thanks for being here. All right. See you, baritone. Yeah, Linda's doing baritone as well. Chris, Red, I don't know. What is that guy? It looks like golf clubs. I don't know what that little guy. I can't tell what he is. Joyce. Yeah, tomorrow we have Time Warp. Let's do the Time Warp again. It's a good one to sing. Lanny, I'll see you tomorrow or in a bit, right? We had baritone class coming up. Leah. Yeah, so Leah, every day, 1 o'clock Denver time, and I have no intention of changing this class time slot ever. I'm hoping that for the rest of my life, at 1 o'clock, I will sit down here and talk to this computer. So that's my thought. But yeah, 1 p.m. Denver time, Mountain Standard Time. So you have to obviously adjust that for. I don't remember where you live, Leah. But yeah, it's 1 p.m. Mountain Denver time. Yeah. Put it in your world clock and adjust it. Puerto Rico is a tough one. That's Atlantic Standard. That's a tough one to figure out. And Lindy, you're back. I'm glad you were here. Fran says my snapper wore. We don't do this, right? Unless you have a dog. Right? So, and I noticed my thumb's like, no, stop it. That's going to make arthritis. Barb says, thanks for being here, Barb. Arthritis stole my snaps. Yeah, arthritis. Yeah, I can feel my thumbs like, I don't like this. I'm going to make you suffer. Oh yeah, and we have time change on Sunday, so we'll have to go. All my Mountain MDTs gonna change to MSTs now. So yeah, why do we do that? It just makes you mental. It's just extra work for nothing. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see all of you either later today or tomorrow. Go forward and be safe.